Hi, champs! Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Rachel Ashalu, but you can call me this girl called Rachel. If you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. On this channel, we talk about scholarships and application process to study abroad. We talk a little bit about lifestyle and personal development. In today's video, we'll be talking about everything about studying in Poland. As you all know, I'm a PhD student in the United States. And to do justice to this topic, I have invited an amazing person. She's doing a master's in Poland, and I mean she'll be wrapping up this month. So yeah, so let's dive into the video. And before that, do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you will be the first person to know when I drop a video, right? So, have you done that? Yes. So, let's dive into today's video. See you soon. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Like I said, in today's video, we'll be talking about what it is like to study in Poland. And today I have an amazing guest, and I'll give her the floor to introduce herself. Hi.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Hope you all are doing well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So wherever you're watching from, whatever your time zone is. So my name is Darasimi and I am currently a student in Poland, pursuing my master's degree in food technology and human nutrition.
Nice to have you
Thank
today.
you for having me.
Okay, so why I have some questions here that I prepared, and
Okay.
one of it is, how can you like tell us about your background, your educational background, what influenced your decision to go for the masters that you're currently doing, and yeah, something like that.
Okay, so for my background, I had a background in microbiology.
Okay.
That's just it in summary. And what influenced me to pursue my master's degree was because I want to have like more knowledge in my field of study, which is food technology and human nutrition. I know that microbiology and food science, they are not like related if you want to look at it. But during my undergraduate studies, like in microbiology, for example, the basic thing you need to know about microbiology is that we study microorganisms.
Yeah.
But for microbiology, we have like different fields, different specifications. So we have like you can specify in, let's say, pharmaceutical microbiology, oil microbiology. You can specify in food microbiology, mycology, sorry,
Mhm.
like we have different areas in
Period.
microbiology. So during our undergraduate studies, we are going to be like exposed to these different fields, but not in-depthly. Do you get? So we are not taught everything we need to know about this course, but one of the field that stood out to me was food microbiology. And I also had like a brief knowledge about it when I also did my undergraduate research. So I wanted to know more. So which means I need to go for like further studies. So that was why I chose food technology and human nutrition.
Thank you. And before I move into the other question I have for you, like it's very important to be able to, because some people they may want to like deviate from what they are doing, maybe what they did in undergrad and what they
Yeah,
want to do for masters. Sometimes it's so hard for them to be able to like connect it. Just find like what interests you, and you being able to tell the story is
yeah,
very important, right? You being able to tell this. It's all about telling stories, to be honest, because if you're just saying, oh, I did microbiology, I want to do food stuff. Okay, what happened in between? What
yeah.
influenced that decision? I think it's very important. Thank you so much. So why Poland? Like, why do you choose Poland as your studying abroad destination?
Okay, so one of the reasons, one of the personal reasons why I chose Poland was affordability. Poland is affordable as a student. You
Mm.
don't need to break the bank in order to study in Poland.
Mhm.
We have lots of courses that you can study in English, and you don't really need to pay like a whole lot of money. I mean, we all know for those that are already in the search for where they can study abroad, you know that the money is not cheap. If you want to study in the United Kingdom, I mean, I got a lot of admission in UK, but the money was a lot.
Yeah.
The money was a lot, paying like 24,000 pounds. I mean, that 24,000 pounds is enough to pay my tuition here in Poland, pay for my living expenses without working,
Mm.
pay for everything till I'm done. So that was why I decided that, okay, since I'm also going to get like the quality of education that I wanted to get in like UK, for example, and I
Mhm.
know we're going to get it in Poland also. So I was like, okay, why not? Instead of waiting and wishing, I mean, time is
Yeah.
going, so you just have to do something for yourself. So
Mm.
that was why I chose Poland.
Wow, nice. That's good. Also, what are the benefits that, as a student in Poland, what are the benefits you experience or you have as a student?
Hey, I mean, there are a lot of benefits when it comes to studying in Poland. And one of it for students is that you can get discounts, like there are student discounts with your student ID card. As long as you're a registered student in Poland, you can use your student card to get like up to 50% discounts. And
Mm.
Poland has a means of transportation that is like the means of transportation here is good, because I've heard a lot of quite a number of stories from people studying in, let's say, Canada. So depending on the province or where their school is located,
Mhm.
they might need to be ordering for all these boats Uber in order to like move around.
The
But
amount of my money that is going into
okay,
Uber because I
yeah,
don't have
yeah,
a
the same
car.
situation. Yeah, so but in Poland, yeah, the means of transport, if you want to take tram, if you want to take the bus, if you want to take train between cities, we have good means of transportation here, and it's not limited to that. So as long as you're a registered student and you go through the whole processing, I don't need to explain that here, but you can get 50% discount on your transport. So
Wow.
within the city. And also if you are, I think, below 25 years in Poland here, you can also get discounts when you're traveling between cities. So that's like the long transportation. So if you're going from, let's say, Poznan to Warsaw, because you're going from city to city, so that one has like a age limit, but within your city, as long as you're a registered student, you can get 50% discount. And that's it's not only limited to transportation. If you There are some specific restaurants also, if you want to go to restaurants, once you have your student ID card, you can also get discounts on things that you want to buy. So there
Oh,
are discounts that you can benefit from as a student here
wow.
in Poland. Yeah, there are a lot of discounts that you can benefit from as students. So I mean, that's one of the perks. That's one of the advantage of studying in Poland as a student. Also, international traveling. For someone like me that loves traveling, I don't need to give myself a headache that, okay, because I'm a Nigerian in another country, I need to like apply for visa, any of that. No, I don't need to stress myself. So you can move freely between other Schengen zones without applying for visa or stressing yourself. You don't need any permits.
Wow.
Just as long as you are a valid resident in that country, just take your if you still have a valid visa, you
Mhm.
can use your visa. And if you don't have a valid visa, you would have applied for your temporary residence card, so you can use that to move between countries. So just up on a bus, up on a train, or up on a flight, depending on whichever one
That's
you want.
amazing. Isn't
And then
it
you're in another
amazing?
country. Yes, like I love that so much. I'm like, God, like if
Wow.
you want to travel, if you're the type that likes traveling, it's also an advantage for you. And it's
Wow.
very cheap, like it's affordable. There are a lot of affordable airlines that you can use
Wow.
to travel, so you don't need to pay a lot of money.
Mm.
And another advantage as a student in Poland that I've compared with other countries like UK, US, sorry, and Canada and the likes like that. So when it comes to working in Poland as a student, you don't really have a lot of restriction when it comes to
Oh my
working as a
God.
student in
Are you sure I'm
Poland.
not going to pack my things and come to Poland because
Enjoy USA. I'm very sure that all these countries have their own advantages.
yeah.
So as long as you can manage your work schedule
Mhm.
with your classes, you can work freely here in Poland. So you're not restricted to, oh, you can only
So
work 20 hours.
hours, you're not
Yeah,
because here in
yes,
US, you as a student you can only work for 20 hours.
20 hours.
Anything above that is illegal.
Yeah,
So, but
okay.
there you can work as long as you want. Right,
Yeah, you
right.
can work up to 40 hours full time and
Wow.
you get your pay. And another thing again, if you're working in Poland, if you're below, is it 25 or 26 years now? You don't pay tax. Yeah, so your salary is more than those that are above 26 years old. So if you are below 26 years old, you are going to get more salary than someone who is above that age. So you don't pay tax on your salary. So
Wow.
you get more money if you are
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
if you are I mean, people that are below 26 years, they're even enjoying more here in
More.
Poland.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's another advantage of studying here in Poland.
Wow.
So I mean there are a whole lot of
Wow.
beautiful things
What
here.
stand out for me among all this is you being able to work as long as you want, like
Yeah, you
for
can work as
hours,
much as you
not
want.
like here that you're like, oh, 20 hours, oh, this, and the tax thing. Okay. It is, I think it's a good one. Like, guy,
Yeah,
you're
it's good.
sleeping
I
on
mean, you're
this.
able to earn money for yourself and
Hmm.
things are affordable. Yeah, things are
Wow.
really, really affordable.
Wow.
So you don't even need to spend a whole lot of money before you live at least a comfortable life. Even in the stores, but I don't think this is limited to Poland only. Like in the
Okay.
stores, there are always discounts.
Hmm.
Like they tell you 50% discount on something, things like that. So you get to save money using all of these means.
That's amazing. That's good. So can you walk us through the application process to Poland, you as a Nigerian, and how were you able to like navigate through it? Did you use agents or did you do all the whole process yourself?
Okay, so to apply from Nigeria, okay, when I did my own application, I didn't use an agent because I mean I've been in this whole application process for a while, so I know what to look out for, I know what to search for,
Mm.
I know the right documentation and everything. So I didn't make use of an agent. I did all the processing myself. So if you're applying from Nigeria, and this is general now to all the countries, as long as you're not within, I think, the Schengen zone now, you need to authenticate your documents first. So you need to go through that process, authenticate your documents, legalize your documents before submitting an application to the universities.
Mhm.
So this is like the very first step, and it is very, very important.
Mhm.
Especially now, the immigration policy in Poland is like getting stricter.
Okay.
The rules are getting strict, and I think it's like everywhere now. All the
Yeah.
countries are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to do this first before proceeding with your application. And the application process is not difficult, it's not tedious.
Mhm.
So to apply, there's a website I always advise people to go to check schools, because I've heard of an incident of someone applying to a university, and the person applied to a university that does not exist in Poland. Like
Wow.
university does not exist, and the person paid the first semester tuition fee, and that was it. The money is gone.
Wow.
Yeah, so to apply, just go to study.gov.pl, study.gov.pl in order to apply. So once you go to that website, you are rest assured that the universities that you're applying to, they are registered universities
Mhm.
in Poland. So that way you are not going to waste your money.
Okay.
And they have, I mean, the website is easy to navigate. Make use of the filter option, and then you can filter it if you want to go for your bachelor's degree, master's, or even PhD. So just filter the options, and then you can see what you want to apply to. Yeah.
Okay.
So like immediately you apply to, so are there like essential, apart from you authenticating your document, are there some like
Okay,
essential document that is required for admission, like something like English proficiency, IELTS,
okay, okay,
since
okay.
Poland is not like an English country,
Yeah.
speaking country. So like what are the essential documents that you need to like put together?
Okay, so after authenticating and legalizing your documents,
Mm-hmm.
you need just the basic documents that you would use in any country. You need your transcript of records,
Okay.
your bachelor's degree certificate or MSc certificate, your degree certificate, depending on which level of degree you are going to now. And also, in some cases, you might need to write a personal statement,
Mm-hmm.
and in some cases, you may not need to write it. So it's not a general requirement that, okay, all universities in Poland request for that. So not all university request for that.
Mm-hmm.
You may also need to submit a recommendation letter. It's not a general requirement.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a general requirement. So it depends on the university that you're applying to.
Mm-hmm.
And then you need your international passport. It's a must before you can apply. I know that for universities in UK, it's not a must to have your international passport when you are still applying, but
Mm-hmm.
at least along the way you can get it. But for Poland, you need to have your international passport before you can even start the application process. And also, like I said earlier, that you need to authenticate your documents, you need to legalize your documents. So for this part, I know it can be stressful because for you to authenticate your documents, you need to go to the Federal Ministry of Education in Abuja. And it's not everyone that is close to Abuja. So imagine traveling all the way from, sorry, imagine traveling all the way from Lagos to Abuja.
So this
So
can
it's
only be
like,
done in Abuja.
yeah,
Mm.
it can only be done in Abuja. I've heard a lot of people have asked me this question, like, can I do it in my state? You have to go to Abuja. It has
Wow.
to be the federal ministry. Yeah, it has to be federal ministry. And traveling from your state or your city to Abuja, we know how the road network is. Like it's bad, staying on the road for longer hours. And even if you are going by flight, it is not cheap.
Mhm.
So one thing that you can do that I did when I was applying was that I sent an email to my university that okay, I will be applying for this course, but I need to authenticate my documents. So I made an inquiry that is it possible for me to apply without authenticating my documents, that when I'm coming into Poland, I'm going to bring the authenticated documents. So my school gave me a go ahead to apply without authenticating. So that's another thing you can do in order to save yourself the stress of first traveling to Abuja to
Mm.
do the authentication and everything.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so that's one way. So always ask questions. I mean, all these universities,
Mm.
they are good when it comes to replying you. They would
Yeah.
reply your question. There's no stupid question. Just ask them if you need clarity on anything. They are ready to help. So that one saved me the stress of going to Abuja. So it was during my visa processing when I was going for my visa interview. That was when I now took my documents to Abuja for the authentication because I mean I cannot trust anyone with my documents.
Yeah.
I can't trust
Yeah.
anyone with my document
Yes.
because there are people that they can send. There are some people like that that they will send someone to help them with the processing and
Yeah.
everything. I prefer to go there myself and do my documents myself because this is not something that you can just go online and print immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, this is, I mean, I feel like people don't utilize like sending message to schools. They
Yeah.
just don't ask questions. Like those just
Mhm.
leave. But I always tell people that see, if you don't ask, you will not get, even with
You want to
you
know,
being
yeah.
in the US and you're applying to schools in US, there are some schools that they will not, they will even waive application fee for you, right?
Yes, yes,
But if you don't ask most of the time, you will not get the response that you want. You will know there is. There's some even scholarship that are available. Most times schools don't actually post everything.
advertise,
And
yes.
until you ask if there's
You have
like
to
this
ask questions.
scholarship for you as an international student. And yeah, if there is, they will let you know, to be honest. But
Mm.
I think people don't utilize it, please. When you're applying, try to utilize that. So
Yeah.
another thing that I want to ask
And
is,
another thing, sorry, before
okay,
you go on, another thing is that when you're applying to Poland, you have to pay application fee. Application fee is not
yeah,
free here.
Yeah.
It's not free. I know that US you can get application fee waiver. In UK, there are some universities that will not even request for it. But in Poland, you have to pay application fee.
Wow. What is the range like? Like, what's
Well,
is
it
the range?
depends on university. You can pay up to like let's say 60 euros
Oh,
for your
okay.
application fee.
Okay.
Yeah, it could be like 60 euros or even more.
Wow.
So you have to do your research very well. Be
Yeah.
sure
So,
which
so
university you want to apply to before applying.
so what is like the application timeline, the intake? In US, we have like fall intake and we have like spring intake. So what is it like in
Okay.
Poland?
Yeah, so for Poland, the intake that we have, the one that is like common is winter intake, which starts in October.
Okay.
Yeah, winter intake starts in October, and then we have summer intake also. But for the summer, it's not something that is common. Only few schools, you can only see few schools like giving the opportunity, like giving their student opportunity to apply for that particular intake. But generally in Poland, the academic section starts in October.
That's good. So I know you mentioned that people ask you question like, okay, so and you didn't use agent doing
This is
yours,
an
but
agent.
do you act like an agent? Can people reach out to you when they're applying? And one thing I didn't mention is she's also a YouTuber and she has like a page that is just devoted for people that want to come to Poland, everything about Poland. I'm going to like link the channel to this video. So do you act as an agent? Can people reach out to you to ask questions and all?
No, I don't act as an agent.
Okay.
Because when you go to my channel, there are videos because these videos I made them based on first-hand experience
Mm-hmm.
and they've been helpful because I've gotten a lot of feedback from people. I even know people that are currently in Poland
Mm-hmm.
that we've seen each other and they will be like, "Oh, thank you for your videos. They were really, really helpful." So
Mm-hmm.
just make use of the video and you can do it yourself. You don't need an agent.
Okay. Thank you so much. So what are the challenges students should anticipate for when they want to come to Poland, such as doing their application, getting visa, when they arrive in Poland, just like challenges as they can encounter as an international student?
Okay, so for Poland, the challenges that you can encounter start before you even apply. To be honest, applying to Poland is not something that is very straightforward. It's
Mm.
not straightforward. Like I said earlier, like I've had experience, applying to different countries.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, if you look at the UK, if you want to apply to UK, as long as you have all your documents, you can apply from the comfort of your home.
Yeah.
And that's wait for response, go for your visa interview and all. But for Poland, like I said earlier, you need to start from authentication, which means you need to know how you will move yourself from wherever you are to
Yeah.
Abuja
Yeah.
to go and authenticate your documents. And authentication is not free. You need to pay. As that when I did my own authentication, after the authentication, I need to go for legalization at the embassy now. So for authentication, it is at Federal Ministry of Education. Then you move to Federal Ministry of Foreign Affairs. That's the second stage. Then you go to the embassy, Polish embassy.
Wow.
So to to legalize your document at the Polish embassy, when I did mine, I paid 30 euros per document. So I was legalizing my transcript of records and my certificates. So that's a total of 60 euros. So that's the first phase that you need to like face. Then once you are done with that phase, you've applied, you've gotten your admission. Now, another battle that you need to face is getting a date at the embassy to go for your interview. So even if you do not do your authentication at first, like I
Yeah.
did in my case, even if you were waiting for maybe when you are going for your visa interview in order to do this, you still need a date to go to the embassy, and getting a date at the embassy is not easy. It's not easy. Sometimes you need to call and call, send email, you may not get response, stay on the website looking for dates. So it's something that is really, really difficult getting dates now. A lot of things are changing. Then another thing, so once you are done with the whole processing, and okay, Poland again, once you applied, you submitted your passport, if you are able to get your visa approved, you also need to go back to pick up your passport because it takes 2 weeks for them to give you a response. I think for US, you get your response immediately, right?
You get your response, but you also like they will withhold, like they will have your passport.
Oh, okay.
And after like 2 weeks, I guess, I can't remember again, but I think that was after like 2 weeks, I think 10 days. So you within
Okay.
that 10 days, you get like message from them that you can pick up your passport. By
Passport.
that time, you have your visa like on it.
Okay, yeah. For
Yeah.
Poland also, you need to go back, but they allow people to pick up your passport on your behalf, but you need to write an authorization letter in case you
Yeah.
cannot travel back
Yeah.
to Abuja because that's where their embassy is for those that are applying from Nigeria. And even those that are applying from Ghana, they need to come to Nigeria to apply because they don't have an embassy in Ghana. So they need to come to Nigeria to apply. So
Mhm.
once you are done with that processing, you've gotten your visa, congratulations to you. Then by the time you enter Poland, you need to face the challenge when it comes to communication. Poland is not an English speaking country. So you need to know how to communicate with their citizen here. You don't need to be fluent in Poland. I'm sorry, you don't need to be fluent in Polish because that's their official language. You don't need to be fluent, but even at the same time, communicating might not be easy. You can be in a city where a lot of the citizen does not speak English. For example, if you're in the capital city like Warsaw, it's not that you might, you would meet like a lot of people that can still communicate with you in English. So
Mm,
language is one thing,
mm,
language barrier. And this language barrier also cut across getting a job in Poland.
mm,
I cut across getting a job in Poland. So like one okay, in my second semester here, we went on field trip. And so for the field trip, we had to go to like different industries to see all the things that we were being taught in class to, get better knowledge on the practical applications of it. And one of the industries that we went to, we were like asking them, okay, if we want to apply for a job after school, things like that. So one of the requirements was that you must know how to speak Polish, at least at the communicative level. And to be
mhm.
honest, Polish is one tough language to learn. Polish is a tough language to learn, to
Wow.
be honest with you. Polish is tough to learn. So when we asked them the reason behind it, they told us that because we are just coming in, we are just coming in at an entry level. So the people that we are going to work with, they don't understand English. So that's the problem now. So it's not because of your experience or whatever that you won't get the job, but because the people that you have to work with, they don't understand you and you have to communicate.
Yeah.
That is why Polish is a requirement when it comes to getting jobs. So there are job opportunities, that have industries and everything, but that language barrier, and it's not even limited to Poland only. All the Schengen zones, they have their own official language that you need to know. So that's another difficulty. And then the weather. So this one is a general problem.
It is.
Exactly. The general, if you are going to US, you are going to
Mm-hmm.
UK,
Yeah,
you can, unless you want to go to Australia, then you may not have problem with the cold.
exactly.
So it can be freezing during the winter, yes. So that's another thing. And then food also, if you're especially if you're the type that you're very picky when it comes to food, you may not have access to, a lot of food that you have back in your own country. Food also, but you'll be fine when it comes to food, I
Yeah.
believe.
So one thing I would say is maybe if you already know that you want to apply to Poland, start learning Polish
Yeah, start
right from
learning
home.
Polish.
Start learning, even if it's like little, something that you can
Mm-hmm.
say
At the
thank
communicate.
you, I'm
Yeah.
going somewhere, those things, so that it will help you by the time you arrive in Poland. So
Yeah.
what is like this success rate of getting visa? Do they have like the criteria they look into before they issue their visa or not?
Okay, so for success rate, I would be honest, yeah. So recently, Poland has been denying people visa like even denying people.
When did they turn to
But
US?
that does not mean that people are not getting it. People
Yeah.
are getting it. But compared to maybe like some 5 years before, the denial rate now has increased. And they can deny you for something as little as accommodation, not having a proof of accommodation. They can deny an applicant because of that. I mean, financial reason is a general one. If you're applying to any country, if you don't have enough finance proof of finance, they would
Yeah.
definitely deny anyone because of that. But reasons such as proof of accommodation, they can deny someone because of that.
Wow.
So you have to you need to have the right documentation when it comes to applying to Poland. And the documentation is not only limited to the document that is being written on the website. So
Mm.
that's why it is important to ask questions, ask people that have gone ahead,
Mm.
what other document did you submit to support? So this does not mean that if you don't submit this documentation, you would be denied. No.
Yeah.
But based on the old denial rate and everything, you also
Yeah.
want to come like fully prepared so that
Yes.
they will say that yes, you really know what you are doing.
Yes.
That's where you need to write like cover letter, for example.
Mm.
So your cover letter is just like buttress support your
Mhm.
application that
Yeah.
you really want to go to Poland to go and study, your future goals, why you chose the university, why you pick this particular course of study and things like that, just to support your application. So things like that can also help when it comes to applying to Poland. So there are a whole lot of documentation that you need to submit. And when it comes to the documentation, it can also vary from countries to country.
Okay.
So
Okay.
as you're asking questions from people that have done it before, also go to the website to get official information and then compare all these things together. Because if, for example, if you're an Indian and you're asking me, okay, what proof of fund does the embassy require? Definitely, I'm going to tell you what I know about my own country.
Mhm.
But when you go to the embassy website in India, the proof of fund might be different because I
Mm.
think some people make use of is it credit card now? We don't make use of that in Nigeria.
Mm.
So you have to show them like your statement of account. So
Yeah.
there are some requirements that is just a bit different. So as
Yeah.
you're asking question, go back to the official website to get
Mm.
the information that is particular to your own country.
Mm. One thing I want to say is like you need to be very curious and don't just assume when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to application.
No, no,
Don't
no.
assume. Go to the website. Like in the US, we have like international hours where like they answer any question based on you being an international student. So you just write emails to them and they'll tell you something like things pertaining to your country. So don't assume when you're applying. Ask questions. That's what's like one of the things we've been mentioning since the beginning of this video. So
Yeah.
another thing is like, are there scholarships or financial aid that students can explore in Poland? And were you able to like get scholarship?
Yeah, there are scholarships that you can benefit from if you're applying to Poland. So there's this NAWA scholarship. That's how we call it, NAWA.
Okay.
So you can apply to the scholarship. Even if you go to the website I mentioned earlier, study.gov.pl, you would see information about the scholarship on that website. So that website can direct you to the website of that scholarship in case you need to apply. And also, universities also have rector scholarship. So this one is not a scholarship that you get before coming into Poland. I think in some cases you might even get it. I'm not so sure. But for my university, for example, the rector scholarship, you get it after studying for 1 year in Poland. So you get it after studying for 1 year. They would look at your grade and everything. If your grade is okay, then they have a particular percentage. So they might say that make it be 10% of the total population in a department. So they would take like the top 10%.
Mhm.
They would waive your next semester tuition fee for you. So you don't need to pay your next semester tuition fee.
Okay.
So these are scholarships that you can get. You can also check online. There are scholarships that are specific to universities that is not like general, specific to university. So depending on the university that you're applying to,
Mhm.
yeah, scholarship also. Then another thing you can also benefit from, or another funding you can benefit for is from Erasmus.
Okay.
So this one is a EU is a EU sponsored program. So I think I should have mentioned that even when I was talking about like some of the benefits that you
Okay.
get as a student studying in
Okay.
Poland. So you can go for Erasmus. So
Mm-hmm.
for the Erasmus, it's divided into two parts. You can go for internship under Erasmus program,
Okay.
and you can also go to another university to study for a semester or up to 1 year in another university.
Okay.
So when you're on your Erasmus program, the EU they would give you stipend, monthly stipend
Okay.
during that duration. So for the Erasmus program for study, though you are going to pay your tuition fee at your home university now, you are not paying to the university where you are going to, but you pay
Okay.
to your home university your normal tuition fee. But then you are going to get monthly stipend, which is I think is good.
Mhm.
At least even if you're not working during that period, you know
Yeah.
that your expenses are being
Yeah.
covered from the
Yeah.
stipend, and it's also another opportunity for you to go out, see another country, know how
Yeah.
things are being done in
Yeah.
other countries also. So that's also another means. Even for the internship also, you go to another country to get knowledge, and
Mm-hmm.
you are being paid for the knowledge you are getting.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
it's I really like studying in Poland, to be honest. So
Wow. Wow, that's
yeah,
amazing. That's
because it's not all countries that do something like this where you can
mm-hmm.
decide that okay, I want to spend 1 semester abroad.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. You're right. That's true. So I would have asked that, oh, like if you was walk us through the process of like getting like, because I know like you got Erasmus
Yeah,
scholarship,
I got Erasmus.
and I would like say we should walk us through the process, but is it like a separate application that you have to
Yeah.
do?
Yeah, it's a
And
separate application, and it's the application process or the requirement is dependent on your school. So there's no fixed or rigid requirements. It's all
mm,
dependent on your school. Like when I was applying for mine, when the application opened, I submitted my application that okay, I'm interested in going for Erasmus. And then when I was successful in the first stage
okay,
based on my results now,
okay,
based on my previous results. So I was called for an interview. I had an interview with them. So basically what they wanted to know during the interview is how proficient that I am in English,
okay,
because the university that you're going to also they would teach you in English. So they want to know that okay, when you go to the university, you not have problem learning. So they want to know that okay, you know English language. So these are all the things that they would consider, and then they would like. So there are points for all these things.
okay.
Points for your grade, points for your proficiency and things like that. So at the end of the day, when the final list is out, then you go through, continue with the whole processing. You meet with your departmental coordinator. So they will select courses that you would do in that other university that would also count
Okay.
towards your points that you were supposed to get in your
Mm-hmm.
own university. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how the processing works.
Wow, wow, great. That's amazing. So without scholarship now, how affordable is Poland for students? Like, what's the tuition rate range? Is
Okay.
it really affordable for people that don't have
Yeah.
scholarship?
Yeah, even if you don't have scholarship, Poland is affordable for students.
Okay.
For people that are studying medical related courses like
Mm-hmm.
nursing, medicine, these courses are expensive anyway. They are expensive in whatever country. If you like study in Nigeria, it's
Mm-hmm.
expensive. But for other courses, they are quite affordable. Like my tuition fee per semester is 1,300 euro. That's how much I pay per
Wow,
semester. Yeah.
wow.
So throughout the duration of my study, I'm
That's
supposed
just for
to
one
pay
course in US. Just one course.
work. That's one
In fact, that
unit.
one is too small. Like I think one course in my school is like 2,000. So, but
I
okay.
think they charge you guys per unit or whatever. I don't
Yeah, yeah,
know.
per credits.
Yeah, per credit. Yeah, so but yeah, you pay per semester, and there's not even pressure on paying. It's not that you will not pay, but there's no pressure like you have to pay the whole tuition fee at once, or you
Yeah.
can pay as you are studying. So there are a lot of affordable courses here in Poland that you can study.
Oh, wow.
even without scholarship.
Okay. So, does Poland allow dependents for student visa? You know, in US, like when I was coming, like on my I-20, there's what's called I-20. I have the opportunity to like bring a dependent, maybe my husband or my family member, to stay with me for time, like to like settle. But those people can actually go and like come back like that. But is there something like that for student visa in Poland?
For student visa in Poland, it can be difficult. But
Mm.
I think there is you can apply, like your dependent can come with you to come
Okay.
study, but this is not something that is guaranteed. I've not
Mhm.
seen a lot of people go through all
Go
this
through that.
processing
Okay.
because even for you as a student,
Mm-hmm.
the whole processing is tedious, not to talk of, adding your dependents to it. So if I would advise anyone, I would
Mm-hmm.
not advise you to, start thinking of bringing your dependent as
So,
a student,
yeah.
unless you are coming here to work and
Yeah,
then, so
yeah,
the processing can be long, but
yeah,
at least if you are working, your work can also help you with the documentation that you need,
yeah.
being either your spouse or your children.
Okay, 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 that's good. And also, like, are there job opportunities like after school for students? Like, what is the process like? Is there like work authorization, something like that?
Okay, so working after studying in Poland, once you are done with your study, you get your certificate immediately. You don't need to wait till you graduate. You don't need to wait till you like your graduation ceremony.
Yeah.
So once you've gotten your certificate, as long as you defended your thesis, you get your certificate. So the certificate gives you the opportunity to apply for job.
Mm,
So you can apply for a job based on your diploma. That's what they call it here. So you can apply for a job based on that. And
mm,
you're not only limited to working within Poland. So you can work remotely for other US company, UK
mm,
companies like
mm,
that. So
mm.
they would be the ones to now process your work permit. They'll process your work permit and then you can now get a temporary residence card that would allow you to stay in Poland for 3 years
Wow.
because once you get into Poland as a student,
Mm-hmm.
you are going to come into Poland using your visa. But once your visa expire,
Mm-hmm.
even before your visa expires, you need
Mm-hmm.
to like apply for your temporary residence card. So the temporary residence card would be valid for like let's say 1 year from when you got it, like when the temporary residence card is out, which is not, I mean, enough for you in case you want to work. So
Yeah.
once you get a job, your workplace would apply for temporary residence card for you based on work now.
Okay.
But the previous one would be based on study.
Yeah.
So you now get another one based on work. So that one will be like for 3 years and consequently you can renew it. You
Okay.
can renew it like that. So
Okay. Wow.
once the 3 years has expired, you can renew it again. And if you want to become a resident also, it's possible.
Wow. That's great. That's great. So what is accommodation like in Poland for students?
Okay, accommodation in Poland is affordable, like it is affordable, especially if you are a student and you decide to stay in your student accommodation. Once you've paid your rent, you know that your rent covers your electricity bill, it
Mm-hmm.
covers water, it covers refuse, everything.
No.
Just pay your rent, it covers everything. But if you decide that, okay, you want to get an accommodation outside, you can always get an accommodation based on your budget. So you can get a shared apartment, you can get a studio apartment also, and it also depends on where you are getting your apartment. So I think apartments close to the city center, because here in Poland, each city has their city center.
Mm.
So apartment close to the city center is always like more expensive than apartment that is like a bit far from city center. But
Mm.
generally, accommodation is affordable rather.
What's the range like?
You can get accommodation for as low as let's say 130 euro per
Wow.
month,
Wow.
like
That's
130
amazing.
euro per month,
Wow.
give or take, let's say 130 euro per month.
Wow. Wow. That's
So
amazing.
you might need to share with, like, you might need to have
Yeah,
a roommate
of course.
with you, but considering the benefits that you're going to get
Mm-hmm.
from it,
Yeah.
you have kitchen, you have bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
you're not paying for electricity separately. There is
Mm-hmm.
internet again.
Yeah.
You can use all these things anyhow you like. I'm not the one
Mm-hmm.
that put that so you can use all these things without bothering yourself that,
Mm-hmm.
oh, the bills, you know how it is now.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
these
you're
stuff is
right. You're
so good
right.
and God.
You're right.
So you don't have any problem with that. Just pay your rent and you're good to go.
Amazing. That's good. So like what is that advice you want to give to like a prospective student that would love to like study in Poland?
Okay, if you want to study in Poland, the number one advice I would give is that you should start early.
Mm,
Start early. Don't wait till it's almost the deadline to apply before you start. Don't
mm-hmm,
even wait till application opens,
mm-hmm.
because application opens in October, like I said, that's like the common one
Yeah.
in Poland. You can also get admission. You can also start your studies in, let's say, February or March.
Mm,
Just have it at the back of your mind that it is October,
mm,
because you may not find your course of study in February or March, because it's not like something that is common. So if you are going for a course of study that is starting in October, and let's say the application opens in, let's say, February to maybe June, that means you should start your application process the previous year. So you can start your application, let's say November, for example. So you can start looking out for universities in November, December, January. Use all these months to look out for universities. Count your cost also. Which university can you afford? Which university has your course of study?
mm,
And don't just pick any university because the tuition fee is cheap. For
mm.
example, in my university, there's a department that pays 500 euro per semester. I said I pay 1,300. There's a department that pays 500 euro per semester.
Wow.
I won't say because this department pays 500 euro and I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
for a cheap course, I will not
Mm.
go and pick 500 euro. When I
Exactly.
get to the embassy, I won't be
Mm.
able to defend why I picked that course of
Yes,
study. Do you get?
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
in as much as you're looking for um a course that you can afford,
Mm-hmm.
also don't just, because people have sent me questions like, please, can you suggest course that you see?
Course.
I'll be like, I don't even know your background. I don't know what you like. I don't know what
Yeah.
your future ambitions are. So I cannot
Mhm.
just tell you to apply to this course of study because it
Mhm.
is cheap.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So you need to be sure, you need to know what you want. Start early. Research, all these schools. If you want to apply for scholarship, get familiar with the application process of the scholarship. If you need any document from your university or your lecturers, reach out to them early, because all these people are busy. So reach out to them early, let them know what you need. If you need to draft something for them so that they would at least have an idea of what to write in case you need like recommendation letter and things like that.
Mm.
Also, even before application opens, so if application is going to open in February, reach out to your university, because of all this authentication and everything. Like, reach out to them before the application even opens. So that way you will know, okay, do I want to do the authentication before
Mm.
applying or not? So in case your university still insists that, okay, you have to do authentication, that way you can do your authentication maybe in November, December, or January. So you know that you already have all this documentation at hand
Mm-hmm.
before the application opens. That way, once application opens, you apply, you get response from the university, and you're able
Yeah.
to go to the embassy early. So I
Mm.
think, like, when I was applying, the year I applied, I think people that applied earlier than I applied, they got their visa. Like, the acceptance rate then was higher compared to those of us that applied when school is almost resuming, because I went for my visa interview in September. Yeah. applied for my visa interview. I went for my interview in September, and school is resuming in October. So
October,
if you had
wow.
applied, so those that applied like July,
Early. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I think applying early also might gives you like a better chance. You are well prepared, you are not rushing, because when you are rushing, you might forget something that you're
Yeah,
supposed to add. And
yeah,
when you apply early also you get, I think it's easy to get it. I'm not so sure, but plan,
yeah.
apply early, do your research. Don't be shy to ask questions. All this
Questions.
university, they always reply to your email. Like,
Mm-hmm.
even as a student, see, I used to send email to my dean's office that I need this document, I need that,
Exactly.
and they would reply. Even if they want you to come and pick it
Yeah,
yourself, they
they'll
would,
still reply.
yeah, they would reply you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Darasimi. Thank you for
You're welcome.
coming to my YouTube channel. This really means a lot. I hope you've learned one thing or the other for people that are like aiming to like apply to Poland. If you like this video, if you learned something from this video, please like, love, share. And if you have any questions, please you can send a question, like add the question in the comments section, or you can just go to Darasimi's YouTube channel. She's there to answer. But please do your background check before you ask questions. Just let it be question that you can't find online, right? Before you ask questions from her. Thank you so much. See you guys in my next video. Bye.